Okay, today we got a bit of a special treat. Kind of a 2-for-1 thing going on. We got an iPhone 6 with a cracked screen, pretty badly cracked screen. But also, we want to do a battery replacement. With apparently what's a tiny little battery. She was saying that her battery doesn't last very long, so I told her I could replace it for her, and before we got to doing that, the screen broke. Fortunately, hers broke up in here instead of around the home button. So it shouldn't be that difficult to fix. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That probably jinxed it. Okay, so first we'll take the protective cover off. Oops, I accidentally turned the phone on. We need to turn it on anyway, so that's fine. I may block out a lot of her screen because it may have personal stuff on it. Oh, okay. So essentially everything is relatively fine except for the cracked screen. So let's power it back down. Let's try to use the right button. And so we need to take the bottom off. That should help. So we want to put these over here. Oh, I didn't mean to go in front of the camera. So we want to put these over here out of the way where they don't get lost. Now you need something to pry open the screen, or something like this might work. I'm going to try it. This needs to come out. And see if that'll pop it. Oh, that pops it open really simple, but now you got it stuck on it. How do you get this off of it? Okay. That works really well, doesn't it? So now we want to disconnect it before we go any further. I need something to hold this up. Let's see. We want to disconnect the old battery. For that, I think we need a 000 Phillips screwdriver. And of course, I'm going to put them together the way they came out, like this. So I know which way, that screw goes here, that screw goes here. And this will only fit on one way because of this groove right in here. You can't get it on the other way, or shouldn't be able to. But I'm going to leave it upright with the screws correct. That way there's no blooper in putting it back together. I guess this one's the battery connector here. Okay, if I can see it a little better. And we got the battery disconnected. Okay, I'm going to take the screen off because I think it'll be easier to do the battery replacement without the screen on. What do you think? And if memory serves me correctly from the last one of these, those screws are different. Again with a triple Phillips. It doesn't really matter which order you take them out in, as long as you keep them in the same spot when you put them back. So these are the short ones. See, that's not one, this is one, I think. Okay, that one's pretty long. So that's probably the long one. And the rest of these are the short ones. So if you get mixed up, look back at this and see that The long one goes in this corner. And we'll just get that out of there. This is a lot easier to do if you don't have to try to film around the camera and a magnifying glass and everything else. It's actually not that difficult to do. And while these screws are basically the same size, I'm going to keep them in the same order anyway. Just carefully pry these up. There should be about 3 of them, I think. 3 or 4. Nope, 4. Okay, so we got 4. Yeah, I can do this without blocking the camera. And the screen should be free. So we'll set it over to the side. Okay, so if you're doing a battery replacement, you would want to pry these up. Okay, now keep in mind that a lithium-ion battery is relatively unstable, so you don't want to force it, but what you want to do is you want to pull up on these tabs, if you can. And try to pull them out, which apparently doesn't really work that good. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can get the other one started again. Try to get that white part with it. That seems to be the gooey, gluey stuff that comes out. There we go. That's not easy to grab hold of, really. Okay, so pull gently on it. And if you can pull on both of them at the same time, that would be cool too. And while you're doing that, see if you can ever so gently pry up on the battery. Make sure you don't puncture it or squeeze it or damage it in any way, or you'll wish you haven't done that, because that can cause it to explode. I don't think you should do on this side here, because you're prying against the other stuff that's in the phone, the circuit board and stuff. I don't think there is a good way to do this, are they? Gotta get up under it. Maybe a smaller... See if I had a smaller one. See, I'm worried that this would puncture through it. See how sharp that is? I'll try this and see if I can get up under it. Oh, that's just going to bend. That ain't going to do anything. Might have to use the metal one. Okay. Just gently up and pull on this tape stuff. It isn't coming out. I'll tell you what, let me do something before I mess all that up. Okay, so if you have a blow dryer or something, I'm going to put the heat on hot and the fan on low. And heat the bottom where the battery is. Okay, that's pretty hot and hard to touch, so let's see if that helps us any. Or if that just makes the glue stuff fall apart quicker. Wow, that's stretchy as 3 people. Okay, that's that one. I'm going to switch to the other wider tool here and pry up slightly as I pull. Trying to do this before it cools back down. They could always heat it back up a little bit. Heat is not the friend of electronics, so about 40 feet of that stuff in there. And there's the battery. What's left of it. Be real careful with that battery though. I'm going to save it in case the replacement battery is Chinese crap. You never know. Now ideally this came with the kit. Came with some replacement stuff. So I guess you're supposed to replace the glue tabs in it. Oh goodness. How are you supposed to do that? That just came off. So it goes down this way. You pull this off first. Wow. Not sure. It's all stretching and stuff. Maybe that ain't the side you pull off first. So let me try to fix this a little bit and peel the other part off. Okay, the other part peels off pretty easy. So that was the side to pull off first. Get the battery out of this thing. And then you'll put this on there like so. Hold on a second. We should give you two of these so when you mess the first one up, you've got a spare. And my finger's in it. Okay, so this goes down like this. I'll put it up higher. And then press it on there. Get this off of that. Because we'll need that later. And this goes around. Well, that's a terrible job of doing that, isn't it? Let's see if I can fix that. Nope, once it's stuck down, it's stuck down. So that's as good as I can get it. It's going to be... and this still don't come off correctly. Look at that. That's still wonky. Now I'm a little nervous putting this on here without making sure. Well, I done dropped it in, didn't I? Okay, so make sure that goes in the right place over here. Okay, you want to make sure that it'll connect properly. And it does. So to a degree, at least. I'll try to straighten that out in a little while, but okay, so to a degree, that's fine. Ooh, metal. Okay, let's pop this back off. And I'll press that down a little bit. Okay, and then you just put the, if you're doing a battery replacement, then you'll just put the screen back on. But before we do that, I'm going to swap the screen for a new screen. Okay, so now we got to transfer the home button and the other junk over from this screen to the other screen. Wow, it's hard to do this looking through a magnifying glass. Those screws seem to be the same size, but I'm going to keep them in order anyway. Along with the little metal plate. Okay, so we got to pry this up. You know what, it'd be easier to take these out first. When it exists, no, there's not one on here, so let me do that first. And these are all the same. Should be 3 on each side, if memory serves correctly. Of course, memory's the first thing to go, so maybe it ain't right. Is that it? Okay, something else is attached to it, isn't it? Okay, there's one up here at the top. So this goes with the other. I'm going to put that over to the side. This is on top of this. So I have to take it off first. Will you stay in focus? Okay. Then the third one. And that screw is a lot longer. So let's make sure we keep those correct as well. I'll push these over to the side so I don't knock them off the table. And then this goes over here out of the way it's supposed to go, so I don't get it mixed up. Sorry about blocking the camera. There we go. So now we can lift this up. Okay, so that's supposed to come off instead. Wait a second, hold on. Okay, this pops off. But we want to go under this. So let's lift that up a little bit if we can. And hold that up with something. Okay, what do I need here? What about this? Okay, that'll go under it. Was that on camera and in focus? Okay, so this, you have to get under this and pry that up. And then pull that up a little more. Maybe with the tweezers. And the back down. get it with the tweezers and come over. And then this pops off probably from back here better. Like that. And you can go ahead and lift this circuit out, I think. Again, it has to be something really thin to get under it. Be careful, there we go. Okay, so now we can go back the other way. You know what, let's just get that button out of the way. So I'm going to gently push from the back. And at the same time, I'm going to try to pry it loose from the front, or whatever side this is. Get in there and get that out of there gently. Try to salvage as much of the adhesive as you can so you can put it back in correctly without having any water leaks around it, if that helps at all in the first place. And I'm blocking everything. Oops, okay, so we want to get that circuit out of there without damaging it. And it's probably the best, easiest way is to get that tab first. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Get this tab loose first, and then follow it up. And I'll set that aside. Okay, so now we need this stuff off. It's kind of already taken that thing off, pretty much took everything out, didn't it? Anything else left? Okay, this is already on the other phones. I don't need that. I need this one. I'm sorry, on the other screen. Okay, so you gotta get this one up under here. Does that help that black all get easier to see the differences in it? You want to get under that, pop that up. Oh, well, we can take this out. Hold on, let's take this part out. The speaker. And follow wherever this goes. Okay, so you gotta get under the part that's right there. And pop that out. Pop that up. There we go. And then this cushion, Oops, and throw it in the floor. And there that is. All that's all on one little piece. So, anywho, so we'll set that over to the side. I think that's all we need. Ooh. Okay, so we also need this little thing right here. See, this is already on the old one. Okay, that's on the new one. So we don't need that. We need to get that off. And you can't even see it, can you? Okay, so we got this out of it. And we're going to need this one here as well, the one inside there. I think that's all we need. Be careful not to break these when you're popping them out. They're held down with adhesive, so you kind of have to go slow and give the adhesive time to release. I'm going to take this one and put it straight on the other, if I can get it loose from my finger, because it will fit better if I put it on exactly the way it was. And while I've got it up, I remember how it was. So that went this way. Then you want to center it as perfect as possible. And press down on it so the adhesive tries to grab again. Same with that other thing. I guess that's the forward-facing camera, is it not? Okay, so that's all we need from the old screen. So reassembly is just basically the opposite of disassembly. You'll want to pull this off. Put this metal pan back. We can do that right now, can't we? Yeah, this goes under that, so that could be put on first. See, can you see this little bit of adhesive right here? Okay, this little pad of adhesive, if it's not there, you can always put double-sided tape on it. Okay, so before I stick that down though, I'm going to put the 6 screws back in. Now those 6 screws are all the same, remember. Okay. Obviously, don't over tighten them. They're little teeny tiny little screws. These also had green Loctite on them, it looks like. Okay, so now I want to position this down there where it's supposed to go. If we can. Be careful not to bend any of those teeth in there. You know, I got a bad feeling that that needed to have been put in place before I reached the 30-minute mark, so the camera stopped on me. I tore that a little bit trying to put that back in, but what you have to do is you have to bend it up and down in. Just like pull it up and push it back in. I don't know how much of that got on the camera or not, because apparently it stopped somewhere in there, but anyway. Now let's put the home button back on. That would go this way. You'll want that to go in the little slots correctly. Okay, so let's see. This has to go in those holes, those little pins. To be in the right place. Okay, so there in the pins. If you can see it with my finger in the way. So we can push this down a little bit and try to get that rubber to stick properly. And then this folds over and connects to here without forcing it. Let's see if we got the home button seated properly and get that rubber on there good. Use something that's a blunt end. Don't use a sharp end, but you can use a blunt end to try to go around the edge of it and lightly press it down. Help a little bit, maybe, I don't know. Otherwise, we'll have to add adhesive to it. Now, which one went on that one? That would be this one here. We don't have to put anything else on yet. Okay, so this bracket goes on here. Does it not? Let me get this in the right place. Okay, this actually has little things under it. Little pins under it, if you can see it. So that you can't actually put it too far into the wrong place. So it just kind of locks in side there like this. So you'd really have to try to get that in the wrong place. But anyway. Make sure I'm in there and in focus. I'm not going to torque it down until I get all three of them in. Technically one of them don't even go into that little plate, it goes in the other one, but that's alright. Okay. Now we got to do this top junk. So we got these things in place. They're not exactly what you'd call glued down very well. Well, no, okay. But when you put all the stuff in it, that's going to hold it down anyway. You can, if you want to, put some adhesive on it. I don't see why not. Okay, so this was already here. Okay, so you got to put that in first. Okay. Otherwise, how does this go? Like this. Yeah, I'm not sure I could work around the camera on this. Let me move this somewhere. I'll try to put it over here and get it as best I can, but okay, so the camera goes in there. This goes in there. Wow, you've got to get all of that mess in there. See, the speaker goes in between these two. So let's put this part down first. Okay, fold this over. I don't see that little pin this is supposed to be in. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that little pin will anchor us. And that's supposed to peel off, ain't it? Hold on one second, I see an issue here. This is supposed to peel off, I bet. Okay. Now, where's that little thing with the pin? Okay, so that goes on the pin. And there's some adhesive under that to hold it. Okay, then this goes down in there, that goes down in there. You get those in there to stay. Oh, no, they ain't gonna stay. Okay. That's not gonna stay, so we gotta hold that down and then try to get the speaker in as well. And get those holes lined up with the screws. And is the speaker in that little place it's supposed to go? hammer down in, put this over, hold all that poop long enough to put the cover over it. Oh goodness, this is more trouble. Okay, now this goes this way, does it not? Can only go the one way. Okay, did that go back down in place right? Okay. Okay, so now all our screws are turned around. So this one's on this side. This one's the middle. And this one's the other side. I'm going to go for the middle. And I need a third hand. Where did that go? Okay. This may be the most difficult part of this particular repair. Okay, now I'm going to examine this and make sure that I'm in correctly before I keep doing this. Naturally, if you're not trying to film it, you can be right up on your work and not have this issue. That does look pretty close. That looks right. Okay. That goes down like that, I think. Is that the middle one? I don't know. That might be the bottom one. Yeah, I think that's the bottom one. Be careful with these, messing with them. They're kind of fragile. Yeah, so that one goes over that one. This one goes under that one. Okay, so that's the only way I can get them to go, really. Okay, so what else are we forgetting? Let's see, we need the... That's it. Oh, we need the little pads off of here, don't we? Because there's none on this one. if we can get them off of there. Okay, let's see, that's that one. Does that one have one already? You know what? I think this might supposed to be under this metal plate. Okay, yes, that does go under there. So I went back and looked at the first part of the video, the take apart part, the disassembly, and this does go under there. So I went back and took that out and put it back under. Okay, so this one has the little pad on it, and this one does, so I need the pad for this one and for the other one off of the old screen if I can get it off of there. You kind of half tear it up doing that, but I'll at least try to do it. Okay, that was the back one. So that's this one. It's not, or it usually don't come off perfect and be perfect in every way. A little thing's fragile. If you can buy replacements of that, it'd be easier to do it that way, I bet. Uh-oh. If I'm not under the glue on this one. No, I guess I am. It's just not coming off very easy. There we go. Now let's put that back together. Okay. You'll want the longest one down here, the smaller one, and then the middle size one. And then that one's where it goes anyway. next one should be able to go in if it's in the right place. Okay, that works. That little padding ain't worth a crap though anymore, but still. And then the longer one. Don't rush this. Make sure you're in right before pushing down. I need something to rest that on. I like it better when it snaps in place. Now let's connect the battery. And see if it works. Unless the battery's dead. Okay, that seems to work. Let me turn it back off. Okay, and put the covers on it. Carefully. Okay. Now if you remember, which I don't have to remember because I got the screws in the right place over there. This one over here, I'll put the longest one in first so I don't get that mixed up. That one went right here, remember? Okay, this one went here. This one was the middle one. I've got to go get a subscription for glasses. I can't see these little parts. And the magnifying glass don't work worth a hoot. And it's awkward and cumbersome. Uh-oh. You don't want that to happen. That could break it. And now this little bracket here on the battery plug. Now that can only go one way. Well, I don't know. I might could figure out another way to put it on there, so maybe I shouldn't say it only goes one way. And this screw is significantly longer, I think. Okay. I did manage to spread that out a little bit more and stuff, but I think it's fine. Just be careful when you get one and know which side to pull off, so you don't do that. And now this has to go up in here first. And hook into all that before I can push it down. Just not wanting to do very easily. Might be the screen brand is crap. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so. And then just walk it down. All the way down. And then the two panty lube screws, whatever they call those. So everything seems to be fine, I guess. I'll block most of this out. Especially that. If that works. Oh, I forgot to check the speakerphone. Guess if that works. Okay, the battery's got 80% charge. It seems to work, so oh, how do you get all that crap out of the way? Holy crapola, she's got 5,814 Gmails unchecked. Huh. Oops. And then slide the power off. So that's it. So we can put her little case back on and call it a day. And other than less than perfect, but that's how you would do it if you're as incompetent as I am. I digress. That's how you change that poop there. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, questions, all that good junk. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up if you didn't like the video. Just give me a thumb one way or another. And I'll see you in the next video.